Okay, here's another video over integrals. This is the first set of homework that we had from integrals to say 1. We had another homework sheet, integrals 2. But anyway, this is integrals from the first one, problem number 23. It tells us to integrate 1 minus x over x squared dx. Okay, so we could do a u substitution, or we could just take this and run with it. But we have a fraction inside, which is the same thing as 1 over x minus x over x, because our denominator is the same. And so that is going to be squared dx. And this is the same thing as the integral of x to the negative 1 minus 1. And that's squared dx. Okay, so whenever we go through and we actually multiply that out, we're going to have right up here, I'll go ahead and work it out by the full method. So we have x minus 1, or x to the negative 1 minus 1 times x to the negative 1 minus 1. Okay, so whenever you go through and do that, we're going to get x to the negative 2, because we add exponents, so that's going to be x to the negative 1 times x to the negative 1, which is going to give us x. We add the exponents, so that's going to give us negative 2, because negative 1 plus a negative 1, negative 2. And that is going to be minus, because we're going to have an x to the negative 1 added to a x to the negative 1. So that is going to give us minus 2x to the negative 1. And then plus 1, because we have a negative times a negative giving us a positive. Okay, so now that we have that factored out, that's going to be equal to the integral of x to the negative 2 minus 2x to the negative 1 plus 1 dx. And there is more than one way to do it. You could do the u substitution or whatever you wanted to do, but I just chose to do it this way. So anyway, whenever we go to actually integrate that, if you remember the rule, it's like 1 over our n, which is negative 2, plus 1 times x to the n, which is negative 2 plus 1. Oops. I'll just try this. How about that? And that's going to be minus 2 over our negative 1 plus 1 is going to give us 0. Then x to the 0. Since that's not going to work, since we're going to have a 0, if you remember, that's going to be the same as 2 over x, or 2 times 1 over x, which is the ln of x. So that is going to be 2 times ln absolute value of x. And then that is going to be plus, that's the same thing as having x to the 0. So we're going to have 0 plus 1, so 1 over 0 plus 1, x to the 0 plus 1, because x to the 0 is equal to 1. So that's how we know that that 1 there is going to be become an x. And then, since we're taking an indefinite integral, we're going to have a plus a constant. out here, and the dx goes away. So that is going to be equal to negative 1 over x minus 2 ln absolute value of x plus a constant. And if you wanted to clean that up some, you could have, just rearrange it basically. Minus 1 over x minus 2 ln absolute value of x plus a constant. And that should be your answer right there. Too easy. All right.